Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So as you all know, I did a video about the nomination of Judge Jackson to the U.S. Supreme Court. And I raised questions about a photograph of her with her white husband. I basically asked, what kind of message does it send to young black girls to see these prominent, trailblazing black women who are pioneering married to white men? And I cited the example of Judge Jackson, and I also cited the example of the nation's first black vice president, Kamala Harris, who was also married to a white man. And in my video, I explained how I see it. I basically laid out the fact that there's a message being sent, like whether it's intentional or unintentional. And that message is that in order to make it in a white male-dominated society, a black woman needs to be married to a white man. I basically said that that's the implicit message being sent, whether it's intentional or unintentional, covert or overt. That's basically an implicit message being sent. And so when I raised this particular question on TikTok and I, stated that position, there were a lot of people that basically strongly disagree with me. You had people basically suggesting that I was racist. You had people suggesting that I didn't know what I was talking about, that I'm crazy, that I'm ignorant, and etc. And what I'm going to do is just read some portions of a post that was put on Facebook by this group that calls themselves Coffee and Cream Talk. It's a swirler type of group. And basically, this post confirms exactly what I was talking about in terms of the message that some people are getting from seeing these prominent black women being married to white men. And another thing that I have to point out before I go any further is this. All of the, if I'm not mistaken, all or most of the black women that were nominated, that were under consideration for nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court by Joe Biden, virtually all of them were married to white men. And there's a photograph that I saw with all of these women and their white husbands. And I think that that photograph speaks volumes. If I'm able to find it, I will use it as the thumbnail for this particular video so that people can see that this is not just some figment of my imagination. This is a reality that we see, especially these high positions. We're talking about the first black woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court and the first black vice president. So I'm going to read these excerpts, and I will post a link to this particular Facebook post in the description to this video. So in this post, again, this is Coffee and Cream Talk. It says this: if you learn nothing else by watching Judge Brown Jackson's confirmation hearing, I sincerely hope that you've learned that whom you choose to marry matters. It matters. It always matters. It especially matters if you're an educated, career-focused, career-driven black woman. Say what you will, think what you will, wish what you will. But Judge Jackson wouldn't be in the position she's in if she had married a black man. That's what they're saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's what this swirler page, Coffee, and Cream Talk is saying. They're basically saying essentially the message that I was saying that is being conveyed, whether intentionally or unintentionally. This person goes on to say this: why? Because black males simply do not rise to the level of black women. And because black women often outshine their black male counterparts, it's just not in the cards for black women to be this successful with a black spouse in tow. So this article, this post goes on and on, making all these disparaging remarks about black men while uplifting white men and Judge Jackson's husband in particular. And I'm just going to read a few more quotes. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I encourage you all to read it for yourself. But again, this reinforces the implicit message that I was talking about. This implicit message that in order to make it to the top of a white male-dominated society, a black woman needs to be married to a white man. And I'm not saying that that's true or anything like that. I'm just saying that that's the message that's put out here implicitly or explicitly, when people see that the black women that make it to the top tend to be in these types of relationships. And this goes on to say this: Judge Jackson's husband is on her level in every way, and these black dudes are piping hot mad because they know they could never. And then it goes on further and further and further. And let's see. I'm going to try to see if there's anything else that I want to highlight from this particular quote. Yeah, but that's basically, those are the highlights. Basically you have the situation where, again, this is another example of some black women who paint, white men as if they are some knight in shining armor here to rescue the black woman from the trifling, no good black man. And that's another example that you have with this. They view this white man as some knight in shining armor, as some kind of savior, practically as a god. And this black man is not up to par. He has all these character flaws and all that kind of stuff. And the white man is the answer and solution to all the black woman's relationship woes. That's what you have in these types of people that have this type of mindset. And what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about, the majority of black women or anything like that. I'm talking about these few people that promote this hateful ideology that basically pedestalizes white men at the expense of black men. So yeah, I just think that this particular post confirms the concerns that I raised in my video. And also today I saw, somebody did a response video, and they again were reinforcing these same types of misguided beliefs. So I'm really interested in hearing what you all have to say about this. I will post the link again in the description box to this Facebook post so you can read it for yourself and judge it for yourself. So you could judge it for yourself, not just listen to what I'm saying. And I want to hear what you all have to say about this particular post. What do you think about what this woman had to say in this post that's on Coffee and Cream Talk? So with that, peace and blessings. Please rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content on here. Peace.